Good morning, friends. Welcome back. Okay, so this is our demo number 2 on Linux server administration. And what we did yesterday, remember we did some basic discussion, right? We said about we discussed something about our Linux servers. Okay, we discussed like why Linux servers are famous compared to any other server operating system, why they are in more demand. Okay, so let us do small revision what we did yesterday, and let us try to say some more benefits or some more advantages of our Linux server operating system. Fine. Now, yeah, this was my introduction. This the name. This is me, Shakeel, and I have 14 years of experience, and I have experience on different domains actually, starting from Windows servers to Linux server, networking, virtualization, security, and cloud. Okay. And coming to the Linux administration course details, it will take 40 days for us to complete this Linux administration course, and fees for this Linux administration will be 5,000. And each and every section is actually recorded. Not only the demo sessions, all the regular sessions should be recorded, and you will get all the recorded sessions directly to you through the Google Drive. Okay. And for this, I'll share you some running notes so that it will be easy for you to revise everything and go and prepare yourself well for your interviews. Okay. And then I'll share a WhatsApp number. My WhatsApp number, whenever you have any doubt, you can simply contact me on my number so that you can clear all your doubts at that moment only. Anyhow, in the classroom, you have the option of clearing the doubts. But when you do practicals, maybe on Saturday or Sunday, you may stuck somewhere there. You may be facing some issues in executing a particular command. Then you can just ping me as early as possible. I will respond to you on the WhatsApp number. Okay. And now for completing this, like I said, you can go up to like 2.5 or maximum like 3 years of experience on your resume. Fine. So this was about me, my experience, and what you're expecting in this particular course. Fine. This is what we have seen yesterday. And then this syllabus. So in this syllabus, what we are going to learn, this is what we are going to discuss, right? The Linux server. Forget about Windows and AWS as of now. Let us concentrate only on the Linux servers. So here we'll be starting from the overview, from the very basics of Linux. Okay, there are actually 3 stages. We'll go with all the basics, then we'll go with the server administration part, then we'll go with the network administration part. Okay, see here friends, if you are interested in Linux administration career or cloud computing career, cyber security career, DevOps career, or whatever, what you should know, one of the things you should know for sure is your Linux server administration. Without having the proper knowledge and proper understanding of the Linux servers, it's very hard for you to move into your career. Understanding cloud computing and working on cloud computing, working as a DevOps engineer, or planning to pursue a career in cyber security is literally not possible without having proper knowledge on the Linux servers. Okay, so we'll be learning the basic, the server administration part or the system administration part and the network administration part. Okay, we'll be covering all these things. So if you want to go through the syllabus is already written here clearly. You can just go through each and everything there. Fine. Now, let us see some more basic things about our Linux servers. So what is this Linux server? Like, it is a operating system like any other operating system from Microsoft. Linux is also operating system from the Unix family, Unix Linux family. So what is Unix? What is Linux? Probably we'll see this in details, but as of now, Windows is like from Microsoft. It is a different way of operating the machine, and Linux is also operating system. The use of Windows and Linux is probably same. What we do with the operating system? With the operating system, we use our hardware, right? Like our desktop machine or a laptop machine or a server machine. Without the operating system, we cannot imagine using our hardware. For example, if there is no operating system in your laptop, can you create any document or can you access anything over the internet? Answer is no. So we need a operating system to do certain tasks. So what are the tasks we can do by using the operating system? The tasks are, we can provide security for our data. We can monitor what is happening inside our machine. Okay, we can monitor our data, that is create our data files and all those things, and we can, take backup of that particular data. Okay, we can run some applications. So these are some of the tasks we do by using a operating system. So whatever types of operating systems are available currently, every operating system will do this particular tasks. We can create a file in a Windows machine as well as in a Linux machine. Okay, we can run a particular application on a Windows machine as well as on a Linux machine. Okay, we can monitor our resources on our Windows machine as well as on a Linux machine. So this will remain same whether it is a Windows machine or a Linux machine. But Windows operating systems are specially famous in the client operating system category. Remember, there are two types of operating systems, right? One is your client operating system and the other one is your server operating system. Client operating system is the OS we use in our laptops and desktops, isn't it? Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11 is which OS? It is your client OS we use in our laptops and desktops. Okay, but coming to server operating system, my friend, server operating systems we use in a server machine. Now, the big question here is why we need a server operating system in a server machine. Why we need a client operating system in our laptop? So that we can use the resources of our laptop and we can do something by using those resources. Like for example, if you want to hear a audio or a video, we need a operating system, and on top of that operating system, we need a application so that we can run a audio or a video file. That is the purpose of a OS, right? Now, why we need a server OS then? See, every person cannot run a server OS. Every person cannot manage a server OS. But if you talk about the client operating system, maybe a 12-year-old kid can run your client operating system. Without getting formal training, actually, without getting actual training, a person can start learning about client operating system on their own. They can just sit beside you and they can see what you're doing there, and they can simply try to use that client operating system like Windows 10 or Windows 11 on their own. So no one will take a particular training to use your laptops and desktops generally, right? No one will take any training there. But coming to server operating system, my friend, we need to take proper training. We need to have proper guidance. We need to take proper training on this server operating system because server operating system is designed for a special purpose. Let us see what is the purpose of this server operating system. Now, this particular image says everything about your server operating system. You know what we do on server operating system? We run something called services in our server operating system, my friend. What we do? We run our services or we run our applications on top of our server operating system. Whenever you connect to the internet, my friend, over the internet, you are connecting to some application like a web application or an email application, file application, database application. There are different types of applications available. Banking application, moving streaming applications like Netflix and Hotstar and some other things. So everything comes under the application category. Okay, once you start using your mobile phone, if you connect to WhatsApp, you are connecting to the messaging application. Now, the billion-dollar question, what we need to understand here is, where are these applications running? Where exactly are these applications running? And the simple answer for that is, these applications are running on our server operating system. Where they are running, friends? They are running on our server operating system. Now, the next question here is, there are two types of server OS, right? One is Windows, another one is Unix and Linux. So, on which server operating system most of the applications are running? Are they running on Windows Server operating system or are they running on Linux? See, first of all, in this particular package, you will be getting Windows Server administration videos as well as you will be getting the Linux administration live training. You'll be get both the training actually, right? Windows as well as Linux. But when you do some comparison between Windows servers and Linux servers, 85 to 90% cases over the internet, the applications are running actually on the Linux servers. I repeat, 85 to 90% cases, applications are running on the Linux server. Now the question can be, why this is so famous? Why Linux servers are so famous? 85 to 90% applications over the internet are running on Linux means just imagine the popularity. Okay, we'll see why it is so famous, but as of now, every application is running on a server operating system. Just take the server operating system down, every application over the internet will go down. You cannot access Google, you cannot access Instagram, you cannot access WhatsApp, you cannot access Ola or Uber, or you cannot access Netflix or anything which is available on the internet, my friend. So that is the power of your server operating system. So server operating system is designed to run applications, okay, so that a company can run their business. Okay, so that is a major purpose of our server OS. Now, how to use the server OS, how to install the application, how to provide security, how to provide the security on application, how to provide the security on data, how to manage the resources on a server, okay, how to increase and decrease the resources, okay, all these things we are going to learn in our course. Fine. So 80 to 85% cases, Linux servers will be used. 15 to 20% cases, Windows servers will be used. But at the end of this course, you will be ready with your Windows Server administration as well as with your Linux Server administration. That means you're increasing your job opportunities up to 95 to 97% companies. If you know how to use these two servers, Windows servers and Linux servers, you're ready to get a job in any company across the globe. Okay. For example, imagine if there is a company where there are, let us say, 500 servers. 500 servers means it's a medium level company, not even big. It's only medium level company. So out of these 500 servers, I can say around, let's say 425 servers will be running on Linux. Okay. And probably around 75 servers, they'll be running on Windows. So if you know Linux, you can work in this company on these 425 servers. If you know Windows, you can work in the same company on the remaining 75 servers. But if you know both the servers, then obviously your demand will increase. Isn't it? A company will look for a person who has multi talents, right? Who knows about multiple servers. See, I remember in 2008, 2010, 2006, actually, when I started my career up to 2010, 12, initial 5, 6 years of my career. If you know one server, it was more than enough back in those days. If you know Windows, okay, fine, you're eligible for this job. If you know Linux, you're eligible for this job. But now the demand is so much that, companies looking for a person who knows both the servers. Because at the end of the day, you will not be working on servers forever. You may be working on servers for like 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years initially in your career. Or directly, maybe you can move into cloud or DevOps or cyber security. So to move into these paths, the more advanced and the most demanding parts, you must have good understanding and good knowledge on the server operating systems, Windows and Linux. Okay. So whatever number of percentage of a server is there in our company, the Windows servers or Linux server, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you need to know both the servers there. Okay. And what is the best part here? The best part here is if you know the Linux servers today, for rest of your life, there will be minor changes happening in the Linux server. Some basic changes, some minor changes. So updating yourself is not at all a big deal. It will not be a big deal whether it is a Windows server or a Linux server. When I started my career in Windows, the server was Windows Server 2003. Which one? Windows Server 2003 was it. Now, you know which server is there now? Windows Server 2022. And within couple of months, Windows Server 2025 will come. So like this, your path, your career will go ahead. So new things will come, new servers will come, new versions will come. It will not be difficult for you to learn or understand what are the added features there, or what are the new features there, or what are the features that have expired or removed. Okay, so your carrier will move something like this. So at the end of the day, we cannot imagine anything on our mobile phone, on our internet, or within the company without having a Windows Server operating system or Linux operating system running there. So if I say it's mandatory for a IT guy to learn these two servers, that is the best thing I can say. It is literally mandatory for you to learn this because the applications are running on top of the server. And where are the server operating systems running? Obviously, they will be running on some hardware, right? A server hardware will be there where this particular operating systems are running. I hope the concept is clear now. Server operating systems run the applications, and to these applications all the users are connected, all the clients are connected. Okay, and with these applications only the companies are running their businesses now. So if you go in history, let's say 40 years before, 50 years before, the way the businesses used to run was completely different. Obviously 30 years before there was no Amazon or Flipkart or Myntra or any other e-commerce website. There was no internet, obviously, 40 years before, so these things were not available. But today, can we imagine any business without internet? See, right now we are connected to the Zoom meeting. This is the application which is running on a Linux server. Got it? So what you are going to learn about a server, we should know what are the capabilities we have in a server, how to install that particular server, how to do the basic configuration in a server, how to maintain and manage your server securities and policies and all those things, and then how to add some networking services in that server, like how to make a web server or an email server or a file server, something like this. This is the way you start learning your servers, and this is the way you work in a company on top of this particular server. Okay, now moving on. Okay, so this is what you should remember forever. Server is an operating system that runs on certain applications. Fine. Now, see, chat box is open, friends. Whenever you have any doubt, you can send your messages in chat box so that I can come to your questions and I can try to clear all your doubts. Now, let us see some more features actually. How we can select a server operating system. What are the things we need to decide before we select a server OS? See, in our Linux, there are different distributions available. Distributions means there are many companies that offers you the Linux operating system. There is something called Red Hat Linux, CentOS, Fedora, DPN, Ubuntu, Kali Linux, Amazon Linux, Microsoft Linux, Oracle Linux. There are many companies that offer you the Linux. For example, if you want to go and take a refrigerator or an AC for your home, what you do? There are many companies that are offering you the refrigerator or AC, right? So just try to go there and compare, and you just try to take the best AC that is needed for you. So comparisons will be there for sure. Because of comparison only, the market is very much open for everyone. The demand is very much open for everyone. So here also in Linux also we have comparisons. Forgot about Windows and Linux. I am saying within the Linux operating system we still have competition there. We still have the comparison. But if you see the statistics, the most famous the most famous Linux operating systems are Red Hat or Ubuntu. Across the globe, you will see either a Red Hat operating system or a Ubuntu operating system used as a Linux distribution. Okay, and in Red Hat, there are different versions available, and the latest version is 9.x version. 9.x means it can be 2, 3, 4 something. So 9.x version is the latest version, and that is what we are going to learn. So there are different versions available within Linux, and there are many distributions available within Linux. So distributions are Red Hat distribution, Ubuntu distribution, CentOS distribution, and like this. Version means within Red Hat, we have 9.1, 9.3, 9.4, 9.2, something like this. Okay. So how to select the operating system? How to select which operating system is best for us? There are certain things we need to see, my friend. To begin with, we need to see the hardware compatibility. What is the meaning of hardware compatibility? Hardware compatibility means we just need to see whether this operating system we can run on every hardware or so and so hardware. So this is very important, my friend. A hardware that is compatible with any OS or a OS that is compatible with any hardware is much more, in demand compared to a operating system which is compatible only with so and so hardware. For example, if you take the example of English language, you just go across the globe. In most of the cities and countries, you will find some people who can speak English, right? It is more compatible with people. It is more compatible with the countries and all the other continents. Hmm? If I try to speak in Telugu, that is my local language in my state, in my city, I can speak Telugu probably in Telangana and Andhra. But is it possible for me to speak Telugu in somewhere like, let's say, Kashmir or Kerala or Gujarat or Mizoram? Maybe no, right? Forget about the other parts of this world, other countries. I'm just talking about India. So compatibility is a very major factor, hardware compatibility. And one of the best advantage we have in our Linux is it is compatible with any sort of hardware. Whatever type of hardware is there, Linux can be installed on that particular hardware. This is one of the best feature we have. Okay. So once your software is compatible, once your operating system is compatible with any hardware, the next thing we need to do here is the application availability. Can we install a email server, web server, file server, database server, gaming server? There are, different types of applications available. And Linux server is compatible with all the things. It is compatible with all the operating systems. It is compatible, sorry, not operating systems. It is compatible with all the applications and it is compatible with all the other technologies. Like for example, if someone is learning data analytics, if someone is learning machine learning, if someone is learning, let's say, artificial intelligence, if someone is going with machine learning, whatever new technologies or other technologies are there, at the end of the day, they will be using some tools to perform a particular thing. So where these tools can be executed or where those tools can be run, they can be easily run on a Linux server operating system. See, one operating system with multi-purpose. Okay, so Linux server operating system will literally support every application. Okay, some applications are quite famous on Windows servers, but most of the applications can be easily run on Linux. I'll give an example. A web server, every person knows what is a web server, right? Whenever you go to internet, you are connected to a web server. Approximately 90% web servers on the internet, they are running on the Linux server operating system. 90% is indeed a very big number, my friend. If it is like 60% and 40%, 60% for Windows or 60% for Linux and 40% for Windows, still it was like, manageable. But what I'm saying here now, approximately 90% applications are running on the Linux servers. It's a big number, right? Performance and speed. What you need in your operating system? One of the things you need in your operating system is your performance. It's your speed. How well it is performing. Can we install this operating system on 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM? Hardware can be any hardware and the hardware capacity can be the minimum hardware capacity. It can be 4 GB RAM also. See, today, if I say 4 GB RAM, maybe, it is like outdated thing to say, right? Because in the year 2024, our mobile phones, we are getting with 16 GB RAM. Laptops, we are taking 16 GB, 24 GB RAM easily. But still, if you have a server with only 4 GB RAM, you can easily install your Linux operating system and install some application there. So performance is so good in Linux that, whatever hardware you have, with that hardware, you can run the application easily. Okay, maybe you can feel who is using 4 GB RAM. Can we get a server with 4 GB RAM? That can be a question. Listen, my friend. No one is using a physical machine with 4 GB RAM. No one is using a physical server with 4 GB RAM. But once you go to cloud computing, see, at the end of the day, everything is running on cloud. All the servers are running on cloud. Linux server is also running in cloud. Okay, so when you take a cloud setup, cloud computing setup, There we have to decide how much RAM we have to take for this particular server. So you can take the least RAM and still the performance and the speed can be better compared to Windows. If you take two servers, one server is having 4 GB RAM with Linux operating system, another server is having 4 GB RAM with Windows operating system, then Linux operating system can run at the speed of 100 miles per hour and Windows operating system may run at a speed of, let's say, 20 miles per hour. That much difference will be there, my friend. Okay, I just want to remind you again, we are not learning only about the Linux servers here, right? We are learning both the servers. But still, when you do the comparison, you should be like, stick to the facts. I'm not saying like if you learn Windows, you're not getting any opportunities. No, there are opportunities on Windows. You must learn Windows and all those things. But still, Linux is quite famous compared to Windows in the application category. Okay, Linux is quite famous for any other, technology. So in most of the cases, you will see the Linux operating system only. So as of now, what we said, it is compatible, hardware compatibility will be there. With less hardware resources, your server can still run perfectly and still it will support all the applications that are available. Okay, everything is fine. But what about security? Security is too good in Linux. This is a very common thing. If I say security is good in Linux compared to Windows, you may feel like, I'm just repeating something that you already know. Every person knows, right? Who is connected to the IT industry, who has some basic knowledge of computer networks and IT and all those things, they know Linux is more secure compared to Windows. When I say secure, I'm talking about the virus security as well as the data security, as well as the application security. Ethical hacking or hacking, people can hack your server and they can simply take your data or they can even destroy your data. They can do something with your data. The intention of a hacker is to provide some harm to your business. That is the main intention. And what is the intention of me as administrator? To protect my data from the hacker. So in Linux, there is more security compared to Windows. In Linux, there is very less virus compared to Windows. What else you need, my? These are the things you need. So these are the things you are getting in the Linux server operating system. Better security and very less virus. Rare occasions we will see some virus in Linux. And in case if you find the virus in Linux, there are very easy ways to delete it or still protect your server and the network from spreading this virus. Okay, fine. Now what about support? What is the meaning of support here? Support means, see, when you take a product, any product, forget about server OS and technology and all those things. Whenever you take a particular product for your use, you need a support from that company. Like for example, you have a TV. Let's say you have 55-inch HD TV. You need support from that particular company because at any time you may face some difficulty in operating the TV, or maybe at any time you may face problem in the hardware of the TV. So you need support so that the company people can come and they can help you in that particular issue. Support is there from Windows, support you will get from Linux. In both the cases, you will get support. But when you go to the internet, you will find more support on Linux compared to Windows. Because obviously Linux is used in most of the cases, right? So you'll get more support there. Okay. And the last but not least, I've just added some selected points here. So these are not the only things we need to consider, but these are the best thing we need to consider before we choose our operating system. These are the top things. Okay. So support is there. We have to take support from Windows as well as from Linux. But like I said, Linux support is much more easier compared to Windows. Okay. And the final thing here is the cost. How much money do we need to pay for this? How much money do we need to pay for this operating system? Windows operating system, Windows people will charge you. There is a particular license agreement there. So we just need to go with that license agreement. And in that license agreement, we have to pay money according to our processors and all those things. There is a big story there that we will see when we go with our Windows servers. But as of now, Windows are chargeable. We have to pay money and we have to use the Windows operating system. But coming to the Linux operating system, my friend, Linux operating system is absolutely free. Again, this one thing, probably you know this very well. Linux operating systems are completely free. There is no need for you to take permission from anyone. There is no need for you to pay money and use the Linux operating system. They are absolutely free operating system. So once you compare all these things, once you compare all these points, is it difficult for you to decide which operating system to go with in your company? Of course, no, right? We can simply go with our Linux operating system. But why the Windows operating system is still available? If Linux is so good, why Windows people are still releasing a new version? They have already announced Windows Server 2025. If there is no demand, they should not release this, right? If you see last 30 minutes, I said one thing. Linux servers are more famous than Windows Server. That is the one point I said. But I never said Linux servers will be used in every case. No. Linux servers are most famous, but Windows servers have their own advantage. Windows Server has their own capabilities. There is a concept called Active Directory, my friend. That concept we can install only on Windows servers. And again, it is very hard to imagine a company's network without Active Directory. It is very difficult to imagine a network without Active Directory. So probably Linux is more famous over the internet, the applications that are connected on the internet, and Windows is a bit famous when you see your local area network. So there is a service called Active Directory, and this Active Directory service we can install only on our Windows servers. Okay, but overall, when you see Linux is the most famous OS. For example, in India, we are very much aware of football and cricket. So football is something like a international game, right? Whenever there is a World Cup happening, you can see how many countries are participating there. Literally out of approximately 200 countries, every country has a team in football. But what about cricket? Big countries like, China or maybe USA, hmm, Russia, Brazil, do they have a cricket team? No, there is no cricket team with them. So what I'm trying to show you here is there are certain things which are globally accepted, globally famous. So Linux is something which is globally accepted, globally famous in any company. Just go to somewhere in Argentina, just go to somewhere in, let's say, Singapore, go to Alaska, go to Russia, come to any company in India, you will definitely see a Linux server there, multiple Linux servers. But again, please do not try to ignore the Windows servers. If you want to move in your career, if you want to go to uh, do big things in your career like cloud computing, DevOps, and cyber security and all those things, you just need to go with your Windows servers also. Once you finish your Linux server, maybe within couple of weeks, you can finish your Windows servers. Because at the end of the day, both server will do similar tasks. For example, in Linux, I'll just take one example, then probably we can stop this session for today. See, in Linux, suppose there is some data. Okay, there is some data in your Linux server. What you should do, you should provide security on that data. Now listen, my friend. If you have Windows server, there also you should provide security. The difference here is Linux may have like more security options compared to Windows, but at the end of the day, both are providing security there. So you simply cannot ignore one and you simply cannot learn the other one. What you can do, you can maybe spend more time on Windows compared to the more time on Linux compared to the Windows server. But if you want to get more success in your career, if you want to see yourself working in your administration field for next 10, 15, 20 years, this is the best time for you to go with both the server operating systems. So Linux server operating system will be learning in our live classes, and Windows Server operating system recorded sessions I'll share with you. Clear? Linux servers, we will see in the regular classes, the live classes. For Windows servers, I'll just share some recorded sessions. Go through the recorded sessions. It will be more than enough for you to understand what exactly is happening inside the Windows server and how it will be operated and how it will be configured. Okay. So for us in our regular classes, Linux is the top priority. Done. I hope the concept is clear. I hope you got some more, clear understanding of the Windows and the Linux. And what about all the other things that we will see probably in our tomorrow session? As of now, see, I just want to show you this guy here. He is responsible for this Linux server operating system. His name is Linus Torvalds. He is the one who developed this Linux operating system. Around 92, 93, this operating system came. He developed at that particular time. But it becomes so famous. One of the reason why internet is so successful, why that many companies are connected to internet, why that many applications are running on internet, one of the major reason is this particular guy, because of his operating system, Linux operating system, internet is so much used in every sector, literally every sector. Okay, so we'll see all these features, all these things in our coming classes. But as of now, that's it for the day, friends. If you have any questions, any doubts related to your operating system or codes or whatever you have related to this particular technology, feel free to send your questions in chat box so that we can have some discussion and then we can stop the session for today. So demo classes will be like, in a simple and easy way. Once we enter into regular classes, we have to take at least an hour every day. Okay, fine. So in case if you have missed your yesterday's demo session, the demo session is already available on YouTube. The management will share the details with you. We can just, go through the demo session. Yesterday demo session, it will make more sense to you when you go through both the sessions, yesterday's session and today's session. Okay, so I'm here for like at least 30 more seconds. Any other questions, doubts, we will see. Or else we'll stop the session for today and probably we'll join again tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. India Standard Time. And we'll just go through more details of Linux server administration. And coming to syllabus, management will share all the details with you through WhatsApp or through email. So just to provide your, just try to provide your proper email ID and a working mobile phone number so that they can share all the details with you. Okay, friends. So I guess that's it for the day. No questions. So we'll stop the session here and we'll meet again tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. India Standard Time. And we'll go with more details of Linux and we'll just try to explore more about Linux. So how much you explore about Linux, that much is like, that much deep you can go. It is like your ocean. 40 days, 45 days is enough for you to understand what is Linux and all those things. But if someone is working in Linux for last 12, 15, 20 years, that person also cannot say like he is completely perfect in Linux. See, first of all, there is no need to learn everything in every technology. I just want to make one thing clear before I stop this session. Suppose someone is learning AWS, there is no need to learn everything in AWS. There is no cloud computing. If someone is learning cybersecurity, no need to learn everything in cybersecurity, my friend. That's not the way you can learn or you can make a career. You should learn the services which are needed. You should learn the services which are in demand. If there is a service which you don't know, maybe you can learn that service after 3 years on your own. You just need to learn the concept. You just need to learn the technology, understand the technology. No need to learn each and every service. Because you're not learning only one course, right? Is it possible like once you do only the Linux administration, the complete Linux administration, let's say in 4 months, you will get a job on Linux? Still not possible, my friend, because when you apply for a job, and if the company see like you have only Linux administration, you will not even get an interview call, my friend. With Linux administration, if you mention cloud computing, Windows Server administration, then you will get a call. Or suppose someone is learning cloud computing. If you just put cloud computing on your resume, you will not get a call. With cloud computing, if you put Linux administration also, then company will select, okay, this person knows both the technologies. Let us take him, at least call him for interview. And if he is okay, let us take him and we can use him in multiple ways. In some cases, you may be working on Linux and some other days you'll be working on the cloud computing services. So this is what we need actually. This is where the companies or the carriers will move. Got it? Fine. So that's it for the day, friends. We'll meet again tomorrow at same time with more details of Linux. Thanks a lot, friends. Bye.